Today also trade deadline day in the NBA, which has become a pretty big deal.
Yeah, lots of stuff has been happening right before the trade deadline.
Moves are being made. Some of the most noteworthy involve Jimmy Butler being traded from the Heat to the Warriors. We also saw that Kyle Kuzma got traded from the Wizards to the Bucks. I think that's a pretty big deal. Here's what I want to know from you, Allie, because you seem to follow the NBA much more than I do. The assumption in the NBA is it would be somewhat of a surprise if the finals leading up to the trade deadline wasn't going to be Thunder and Celtics. Have any of these trades changed that drastically?
I would say the odds that the Lakers make a big run have certainly increased. But I want to see what it looks like with LeBron and Luka, and now Mark Williams, who they just traded for late last night, technically early this morning.
I know they needed a center.
Yeah, that's Mark Williams as a center from the Hornets.
But they also sacrificed Dalton Connect.
Yes. So we'll see. We'll see what it looks like when all those players come together and play for the first time. Is it going to click? We don't know. I mean, when you add a player like Luka to your team who's averaging 28 points per game, that seems like it's going to make a big difference. But also it's like, you have another player in LeBron who's also ball dominant. Does that change him? So we'll see. But I would say I'm definitely interested to see what's going to happen with them, and certainly interested to see what's going to happen with Golden State adding Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has been an enigma this season. Yeah. It's been very strange with what's been going on with the Heat.
I think he's been suspended 3 times by his own team.
Clearly, he did not want to be in Miami anymore. Yeah. And he was making that obvious, making that known to everyone, not just the Heat. And so I was expecting a trade to come there. We were just not sure if it was going to happen because, if you're showing that you're such a hard person...
Diva.
Yeah, a diva. We'll say that. It can be a struggle to get a team to agree to add you. But apparently Golden State wanted to take the chance. We'll see how Steve Kerr puts it all together with Jimmy Butler added to the squad.
Yeah, you think about teams that might have a culture that could incorporate Jimmy Butler. Well, the Heat might have been one, and that worked for a while, but the Warriors would certainly be another. Right. So that it could very well work, but they had to give up Andrew Wiggins for that. I do think the Bucks, because I think the path in the East, they can navigate that, and I don't know, they're trying to figure it out with Giannis and Dame, and I never want to give up on those guys. Yep. And then you add Kyle Kuzma, who at least plays, where Chris Middleton seems to get injured a lot and whatever, especially in the playoffs. So I'm interested to see what the Bucks will look like. Yeah. And I would like to see them make a run.
Yeah, it adds a wrinkle for sure. And that's what the trade deadline is supposed to do. It's supposed to, change things up and make it seem like, it's more competitive than what you previously thought. So, it gives an advantage to some teams that are willing to spend some money and willing to give some things up. And those teams certainly were, and we'll see if it changes any of their outcomes.
Now, there's still a few hours left, too, before the official deadline. So there still could be deals coming down later this morning and into the afternoon. So we'll see what happens. But interesting, though, that at least as of this moment, the two teams that had been mentioned, the Thunder and Celtics, as the prohibitive favorites to make it to the final, haven't really done much of anything of note.
They don't want to get rid of any other players.
What does that tell you?
They're good.
While you're here, you should watch more of our videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.